All right, so here's a 6 week overview of how the program is going for me currently. And again, I enter all my workouts, and what you're seeing here right now is Reactive Training Systems. This is the software that I use to enter all my workout information into. So during my workouts, I put everything into a logbook first, then after the workout, I transfer it into the Reactive Training Systems. Now, this program is free for anybody to use. You just go to reactivetrainingsystems.com and it's web-based. You make an account, and no subscription, no registration fees, nothing like that. Completely free to use. And I do like this software. So this is what I use to track everything. So let's kick it off here. Now, what I have this set up for is my main lifts that I'm tracking for these 6 weeks. And the first one was the hip belt squat or belt squat. And this is where I first started the program, was on this week here. So what it's calculating this number 322 is my estimated 1 RM based off of what I inputted into the software from that workout. Then the second week is 358. Now remember, the first week is your sets of three that I was doing. The second week is the 531. And in some cases, it might be where I'm doing an AMRAP set, or I might not be, or it might be Joker sets instead. Down to the deload. And then the second set of weeks, where here is the sets of three again, went heavier, 370. And then the second week was 382, and then down to the deload. So it's a quick snapshot of how the belt squat went. Now the competition bench, which for this was 2 count pause bench press. We have the first week, 358, then the second week, 373 down to the deload. And then the second time I came back into this, again, this would be the sets of three, 376, so it's slightly more and heavier than my first week, 358, and then up to 392, and that one was definitely a PR for me for this specific exercise, and then down to the deload. And the last one is the competition deadlift, and for this one I was using the 2 count pause deadlift. Now, if you've been following my videos along, I'm definitely having a lot of issues with my lower back, and I'm fighting through that. So that has affected how I've essentially been deadlifting and approaching it weight wise. So there is a huge amount of variation in my weights here. So really, this has to be taken with a grain of salt when it comes to using this program for the results that I'm getting so far with it, specific to the deadlift that I'm doing. So for the first week, it was 365. I was just ranging it out to see how it felt on my body. And then the second week, I took it up to 424 and then down into the deload. And then the next time I took it up a bit higher for 36 and then even higher for 445 and then down into the deload. So there you have a quick overview of how the training went with me for the last 6 weeks. And remember, this software is completely free to use, Reactive Training Systems. Give it a try. If you don't track your workouts, it's something you should, like, if you're serious about wanting to make gains and figuring out where mistakes are being made in your training, it's essential that you track all your workouts so you can go back in and see and analyze what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And that's how I essentially was able to come up with this specific program for myself that I hope is going to work long term. And again, if you like the content, please like and subscribe, and feel free to comment if you want to input any suggestions.